Daily Detroit is brought to you by the community. Support our work at patreon.com/dailydetroit.
Hello, friends, and welcome to your Daily Detroit. It is Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. I'm Jer Stays. I'm getting ready for this live stream tonight around the mayoral primary, the Detroit City primary, all the elections happening around Michigan, and I'm doing work getting ready for Saturday's live show. We're going to have a big birthday bash at the Old Miami from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. this Saturday, August 9th. I'll put links in the show notes to all of it. So I'm going to hand the mic over to someone else. Norris Howard has an interview with the organizers of AfroFuture Detroit that is coming up August 16th and 17th. I'm going to let them get to it, and I'll talk to you afterward.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Daily Detroit, what to know and where to go in the city of Detroit. And we got a very special guest today. Jared's off on the sidelines on this one. I figured I had to take point for this conversation, one I'm very excited about. We're sitting with Abdul Karim, CEO and founder of AfroFuture. This is going to be one of the newest festivals coming to the city of Detroit. It's going to be over at the festival grounds. It used to be the Brewster Projects. But Abdul, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here with y'all.
Yeah.
What up, though?
Yeah. Hey, as we say, what up, though?
What up, though?
So one of the main things that I want to ask you about, for those who don't know, what is AfroFuture?
Yeah, I'm very excited to be here with you. Thank you so much for having me. AfroFuture really, it's a platform designed to bring together the global Black diaspora, right? We center our entire cultural experience in music, food, art, and fashion, and we've been doing this for the past 8 years in Accra, Ghana. This is the first time ever we ventured outside of our home in Ghana and come to a place like Detroit. And Detroit obviously makes sense because if everybody has been paying attention to a lot of what's been happening in Africa, you can know that Africa is the next frontier. And as far as in the next 10 years, 1 in 4 people will be from Africa. And that means Africa is the youngest continent. There's a lot of renaissance happening. And our festival is supposed to be that conduit for people that are looking to explore what opportunities exist in the world to learn about Africa in a way that's direct, one-to-one, outside of what has been taught to you about it. So what we do at the festival is tell stories through music, tell stories through food, tell stories through art, and definitely tell stories through fashion, which I know something that Detroit knows a lot about.
Oh, you already know. We know how to throw it. We know how to
throw it on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But one thing that I want to talk about is that the festival, obviously, you talked more about it being just music. It's a more holistic approach. It's going to be a lot of different facets to it. But speaking about the music, centering around Afrobeat, Amapiano, which is just blown up, particularly in post-pandemic, where people are starting to sort of rediscover a lot of music coming out of Africa. What has that experience been like as you've put together AfroFuture and sharing more of these genres of music with the rest of the diaspora?
Yeah, when we started in 2017, there was absolutely no way you would find Afrobeats music playing on the radio, right? That was very novel. And we started out by doing experiences just to expose people to it. So to see where all of the genres have gone, in the past 8, 9, 10 years, is very exciting to see. Our artists are charting on the Billboard 100. Our artists are selling out stadiums around the world. And, when I say our artists, it's all of our artists, right? Because a lot of what you see in Afrobeats and Amapiano is, the grandchildren of what we saw here in Detroit, coming out of Motown, coming out of the electronic music scene. The creativity that was created here in Detroit has now expanded to the world and has influenced genres like Afrobeats and things of that nature. So when you look at Afrobeats at its core, you have a baseline of high life. You have a baseline of hip hop. You have a baseline of electronic music, and all of those things coming together for Africans to be able to express themselves in their music. And really, that's what we want to share. We want to be able to demystify some of these things, right? For so long, our story has been told for us, whether it's through TV, commercials, and all of those things. And now, the internet is giving us the opportunity to communicate with people directly and tell our own story. And that's what we're really excited about, and that's what we're trying to champion.
And I love hearing that, too, because for me, as somebody who I consume a lot of music. I consume a lot of different kinds of music. I consume music that is not necessarily birthed here in the United States, But what I love about a festival like Afrofuture is you are bringing in artists that are known here, and then many artists who this may be some of their first times in the
Yeah.
United States.
Absolutely.
And the fact that you're bringing them to Detroit, I feel honored as a Detroiter and also as a music lover. And I just want to go into the calculus of some of the artists that you're going to be bringing
Yeah, let's
to
talk about them.
Afrofuture, because I see some names on here that's going to get a lot of people excited.
Yeah. I mean, we were very intentional about who we picked. I see a festival as a place that people go and discover music. I guess maybe I'm old school. I know a lot of people now, and a lot of the festivals are really just about, who's hot. But beyond that, it's like who's telling a story and who's making sense, right? Each of these artists on this time on our lineup, I have a relationship with, in that we've worked together before, or we have an experience, or is somebody that I want to learn from. One of the ones I'm very excited about is Ludmilla, who is a extension of what we do, but in Brazil. I'm very excited to her to come out and share her Afro-Brazilian culture with us in Detroit. I'm excited to discover her. But artists like Davido, we have a personal relationship. Like, I just spoke with him in Paris, at Martel, where he's just renewed his contract. But he's performed for us in Ghana before, right? So he was been a part of our journey. An artist like Ashake, we saw him go into his superstardom. We saw him as a new artist. We saw him go in 1 year from a new artist to like one of the top artists, and he performed on our stage as well. One of the ones I'm excited about, Tyler ICU, is his first time ever in America. Everybody danced to his music, but many people may not really know him if they saw him walking in the street. But it's our opportunity to really bring that Amapiano experience out here. Artists like DB and Gogo have been to Detroit. This is their second time coming back. Maporisa is coming on, which is obviously one of the founders and creators of Amapiano music. So really excited to see him on stages. We have an artist by the name of Kitty, who is from Accra, Ghana, that I'm excited for people to see. He's one of the best performers I've seen. His music does well all over the world. He's particularly big in India. People love his sound. He's done remixes for artists like Tyga and a few others. So we're excited for people to discover this music and discover these artistry from these talent and build a relationship with them. We want to tell stories with them. We want them to connect to local Detroiters, and for people to just really have a relationship with them beyond just kind of like just hearing them, actually seeing them. It's a big deal.
I think it's fantastic. And, last thing I want to ask is, why Detroit? There were plenty of places you could have picked in the world. Obviously, your New York, your Los Angeles, even Miami, a place like Miami. But what made it important for you to bring Afrofuture to Detroit?
It's intentional, right? I'm from New York. Like, everyone in New York has seen all of it. I started doing my career in New York, but now is our growth, and now it's time for us to grow. And Detroit happens to be one of the blackest cities in America. If we could build a bridge to one of the blackest cities in America, we create an ecosystem that is growing our community, right? I don't want to keep talking to the same people I've been talking to all the time. There's so many different Afrobeats experiences in New York City and Atlanta and LA. We want to talk to a new community that needs to be introduced to this way in a deeper way, and what we want to do is to do it holistically, right? So it's not just presenting you the music for you to see, but it's giving you a cultural immersion, right? There's elements of the food, there's elements of the art, there's elements of the fashion, all of which that comes together that explains what Afrofuture is. It's a journey that we're trying to bring you on, and is beyond just like all the elements that we're bringing to the festival, but also an introduction to what's happening on the continent and the renaissance that's happening.
And I love that, And first of all, word out to Jerk and Joloff, who will also be having a presence at Afrofuture.
We had to tap in with people from Detroit. Like, one of the things that I understood as somebody that's a native New Yorker is just that it doesn't move without the people that are from the community. So our partnerships with Venture 313, with Black Tech Saturdays, with Chanel Dominique, and the Heart Festival, that we did the Juneteenth celebration with, to our partnership with Council Lewis College. Like, all of these things were very intentional because we want Detroiters to know that we're not here just for a moment. We're here for a long time, and we want to build deep roots with the people in the community.
Abdul, thank you so much for coming on Daily Detroit. Now, where can they find information about AfroFuture? This is going to be August 16th and 17th. I forgot to say at the top of the show, but August 16th and 17th, where can they find more information?
Yes, please go to detroit.afrofuture.com. Also follow us on all socials at AfroFuture, on Instagram, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, everywhere. We have a presence. We have a lot of events, not only here in Detroit, but all over the world. And we would love to bring you to be a part of our community. And this festival is our way to invite you into that community.
Go and grab some tickets and go and check out this wonderful new festival. We got to show up for this, y'all.
Yo, please
Detroit got to show up for this.
How about for us?
Thank you so much for listening. Remember that Daily Detroit is brought to you by our members, patreon.com/Daily Detroit. Feedback, as always, dailydetroit@gmail.com or 313-789-3211. Leave a voicemail. All right, until next time, I'm Jer Stays. Remember that you are somebody, and I'll see you around Detroit.